Welcome to the City of Meriden's Guide to HUD Grant Programs. This video series will cover the basics of applying for and successfully managing a variety of federal grant funding resources available through the city. This video pertains to the Community Development Block Grant or CDBG program series. Once the city awards CDBG funds to an agency, there are several program requirements that the agency will need to navigate in order to remain compliant and ensure successful implementation. In this video, we will cover the basic requirements for managing CDBG-funded public service activities. CDBG funds can be used for a wide range of public service activities. However, all public service activities must primarily benefit low to moderate income individuals and families residing within the city of Meriden. Subrecipients must verify and document that the primary beneficiaries of CDBG-funded programs are considered low to moderate income, or LMI, which simply means the beneficiary households have incomes at or below 80% of the area median income. Current income limits may be found on the City of Meriden's website on the Housing and Community Development Department page and on the HUD Exchange. Certain special needs populations are presumed to be LMI. Programs that primarily benefit one of these groups will not require income documentation, only documentation of the special needs determination. In a given program year, the total amount of CDBG funds obligated for public services has an expenditure cap of 15% of the city's total annual allocation, or $220,000. Therefore, individual public service activities are typically smaller portions of funding than housing, public facility, or infrastructure projects. It's also important to note that public service activities must be either a new service being provided to the community or an expansion of a previously funded activity to serve a larger or different population. Some examples of CDBG-funded public service activities are employment training services, child care and youth programs, health services, substance abuse services, fair housing counseling, education programs, services for senior citizens, services for homeless persons, welfare services excluding income payments, recreational services, and crime prevention and public safety. The city will assist to ensure that subrecipients, meaning the agencies that receive CDBG funds from the city, are compliant with all CDBG regulations. It is imperative for subrecipients to keep records documenting all aspects of a CDBG-funded program, including organizational administrative records and CDBG project records. Developing, maintaining, and continuously updating policies and procedures for both the CDBG-funded program and for the agency's administrative processes will help ensure program success. Administrative record-keeping includes documenting personnel files, articles of incorporation, bylaws, board minutes, tax status, contracts, and other agreements. For project-specific records, subrecipients must maintain records for all activities, particularly documenting CDBG requirements. The city is required to report on the demographic information of those receiving CDBG-funded services. Each subrecipient will therefore be required to report on beneficiary demographic information on quarterly reports. Agencies must be sure to keep all documents related to any property that is funded by CDBG. Subrecipients will be required to maintain the CDBG quarterly report, where the organization will report on the name, race, ethnicity, city resident status, and household income levels of beneficiaries of the program during the reporting period. These reports are due to the city on October 31st, January 31st, April 30th, and July 31st. All report forms are available on the city's website. Subrecipient organizations are able to submit quarterly funding reimbursement requests in order to be reimbursed by the city. These reimbursement requests must include details of all costs incurred during the previous quarter and proof of payment for these items. These reports are due to the city on the same dates as the quarterly reports: October 31st, January 31st, April 30th, and July 31st. All report forms are available on the city's website. The City of Meriden is responsible for making sure that each subrecipient of CDBG funds is compliant with related federal requirements. The Community Development and Grants Administrator will serve as the main point of contact and will assist with program questions, compliance review, and ongoing technical assistance and guidance as needed. The Community Development and Grants Administrator will also conduct periodic site visits to subrecipients in order to monitor all aspects of a program, including processes, client documentation, and financial records. One of the most important aspects of managing CDBG grant funding is ensuring proper financial management from beginning to end. The following section highlights some important financial management practices to ensure compliance. The Code of Federal Regulations lays out all financial management requirements for grant funding at 2 CFR 200. Playing by the Rules, a handbook for CDBG subrecipients on administrative systems, is a recommended resource for all subrecipients. It provides an overview of federal regulations and how to apply them to your organization. Good financial management includes a process of internal controls which define and maintain organizational procedures, job responsibilities, qualified personnel, and records. Good internal controls create accountability in an organization's financial system and safeguard cash, property, and other assets. It's recommended that subrecipients develop or maintain an organizational chart with written descriptions of staff roles and responsibilities. Organizations should also implement a formal and defined system of authorization and supervision, ensure adequate separation of duties, and control access to assets and confidential documents. A system of periodic reconciliation of financial records is also advised. All costs incurred for a CDBG-funded program must be allowable. A cost is considered allowable under the regulations of 2 CFR 200 if it is necessary, reasonable, and directly related to the grant. Allowable costs must also be authorized by the city, permitted under other federal, state, or local laws, and consistently treated. Costs for a CDBG project must be included in the agency's application budget and the contract budget. The City of Meriden uses a reimbursement method for transferring federal funds to subrecipients. This means that the city transfers funds to a subrecipient organization based only on documented and verifiable expenditures. Both the city and subrecipients operate on this reimbursement basis so that federal funds are not drawn down until the city is certain that all financial transactions occurred in a manner that fully documents compliance. Subrecipient organizations should develop policies and procedures which outline how they will track cash management. Complete and accurate financial records are crucial for managing CDBG funds and demonstrating compliance with program requirements. Recommended financial records to maintain include the following: amounts budgeted, advancements or reimbursements received, actual expenditures and disbursements, funds currently obligated, unpaid requests for payment, and other funding sources utilized for the program. The city will require subrecipients to submit source documentation with all reimbursement requests. Thank you for watching the City of Meriden's Guide to HUD Grant Programs. For more information, check out the City of Meriden's Economic and Community Development Department's website, linked here. Be sure to take a look at the other videos in this series for more information on managing grant funds.